So take advantage of working to the council meeting on October the 3rd. This year is going too quick, isn't it? So here we go. Right. Apologies for absence. I've had one from Councillor Tyra, who is at another meeting. He may be attending later, but he has sent his apologies. I haven't had any other apologies.
Councillor Redfern on that.
Councillor Redfern. Okay, yes. Declarations of interest.
Yes.
Yes.
On the well, Albert Christmas one.
Okay. Thank you.
Meeting on that one.
And any pecuniary interest, although you just declared those as well. Any others? No. Public participation then? Yes, go for it. Welcome back.
Now that we're out of the period of mourning, can the thing be tidied up in the square and the dead flowers removed? Thank you. And also the quarterly newsletter. Is that happening still?
Shall I take that?
Yeah,
it is, and it's been booked in with Royal Mail delivery today. So we're going out to be hitting people's doorstep between the 30th of October and the 2nd of November.
Oh, brilliant, thank you.
Thank you very much. No one else. Okay. We'll go on to the minutes of the Town Council meeting held on the 5th of September. Any comments, queries? If anybody would like to propose their acceptance, Councillor Dale, anyone will second that? Councillor Westby, and the show of hands for approval, please. Thank you. And abstention. That's fine. Everyone else is unanimous. Planning matters 6A, which is the planning applications for ratification or confirmation by members. Any queries on those? No? Anybody would like to propose that we accept those? Councillor McKinnon, Councillor Ellis, and the show hands for approval. That is unanimous, other than Vera, who abstains from planning matters. Thank you. 6B, we'll start with the top one, which is ending 1014/F, which is the demolition of existing stores and security buildings and the erection of a new holdings and a new reception area, security office building at the Banham Poultry site. I'd like to remind Council that that is a matter of hand and not anything else in the news with regards to Banham Poultry at the moment. Okay. Any thoughts, queries, comments on this one?
And only that I'm showing my ignorance. What is a lairage?
I'll
Google that.
Oh,
go for it. Please can we have that? It's probably better than my definition I was about to
A
give.
place where animals can rest prior to slaughter.
right.
Yeah.
That's such a nice word. It's such a
I was going to say holding bay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Resting is better.
Yeah. Okay, but no, thank you very much for that. Anyone familiar with the site will recognise the area which is proposed on this, if you look at the plans, is a bit disjointed at the moment, and this would be an improvement to the site. My only concern is that if they are invested in the existing site, it delays them moving off-site to a Buttons Bank, which is losing all hope that will ever happen. But I don't have any objections personally to them improving the site for better operations. It's a visual improvement overall. So.
My only concern is about the traffic movements in doing the work and the delays and upset to traffic, on the main road. But that should be covered by highways and conditions of doing the work.
Breckland Council have a specific guidance on on demolition that would be imposed on any planning application. Does anybody have any objections? Are you happy for us to put no objection? We'll vote on all of these at the end. Okay. The next two are kind of linked as they're adjacent really to each other, and they both are down Lays Lane. And that is the outline planning permission for the erection of 9 houses. That's 1042. And the addition of a garage to an existing house, which is kind of in the area, 1075. Does anybody have any comments on the first one, 1042? It is becoming a bit of an infill area. There is precedence set for that being done, and with the Sue buffering up to that area as well, I can't see a real reason to object to it. It would be subject to the traffic controls and everything else that go through the highways. So personally, I don't see grounds for objection with what's previously been happening down there.
Yeah.
Okay. Please correct me if you feel differently. And the same for 1075, it's the addition of a garage to the same area down there. Lays Lane area. I can't see a reason to object to that. So for those 3 items, may I propose that it is no objections.
Thank you.
Councillor McKinnon, and show of hands for approval. That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Financial matters, 7A, which is to authorise payments. Are there any queries on the payments list? I know that you've mentioned the Christmas lights. Obviously, you won't be voting on this or commenting on that. I don't think there's a need, councillors, for us to ask them to leave, even though it's potentially a matter there. So, you're happy for that?
I mean, technically, James.
I feel hard pushed to ask it to leave under the circumstances. Thanks, Joe. I do feel rude asking you to do that. Okay. So, any more queries or questions on this?
With the electricity crisis or whatever, do we know, I mean, it's going to cost a lot more, isn't it?
No, because the government have put a maximum unit price over the business and charity use for the next 6 months. That's
Okay.
starting from the 1st of October, which is limited, I believe, to about 22 pence a unit or so,
That's okay.
which is significantly less than other charges that I was in the marketplace looking at the other day.
Yes.
So I'll just leave it there.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Thank you for that.
Okay, councillor Bond.
Yeah, just quick query on the church clock repairs. Are we in the estimate for that?
Yes.
Do we know? Yeah.
And has already been noted, it looks really good. Yeah. It's really brighten that clock face up. It looks fantastic with the new hands on.
Well, I think it's good. I just wanted to check
Yeah.
that we're all okay on that.
Okay. If there's no more questions, would anybody like to propose their acceptance? Councillor Lane, propose. Anyone would like to second that? Councillor Westby, and a show of hands for approval. Thank you very much. That's unanimous. We can invite Joe back in.
Yeah,
Okay. Thanks, Joe. 7B, direct debits. Any queries or questions on these? No? If anybody wants to propose an acceptance. Councillor Heath, Montague, and Vera Dane, and show hands for approval. Thank you, that's unanimous. To receive income, 7C. which includes the preset payment. Yeah. Would we like to approve this?
Yeah.
Any questions? I should ask first. No. Councillor Westby has proposed acceptance. Anyone like to second that proposal? Councillor Montague, and the show of hands for approval, please. Okay, that's unanimous. And for information, petty cash, any questions? Yes.
Not a question, a statement. I'm going to leave just because before I come, this is far too late to the presentation. I had a frown and my pain relief started to go off and literally my face is throbbing.
I do feel for you.
I'm going to go home. Sorry.
Bless you.
I come with good
And-
intentions.
And good luck, Councillor Taylor, with that. I know how painful. To fake as someone who's had a triple abscess in the back. So, yeah.
Wish better.
Okay, so no questions on the petty cash. And 7E, income and expenditure report for August. No questions. No. Okay, 7F, which is the completion of the audit, as noted in the minutes. And I'm going to pass over to the clerk, who's just wanted to raise something on the audit process.
If that's okay. I would like to make a request from council. So at the last full council meeting in September, council voted to opt out of the external auditor's report, which I believe was done with the best of intentions to save us some work. What it actually does is create a huge problem. So essentially, by opting out, what you're saying is, we don't want you to sort an audit out for us, we'll do it all by ourselves. And there are very, very few auditors. In fact, everybody that Anna's inquired to will not touch us because we're a council. So to revisit this, because we've already made a resolution, this could be brought back to council and rectified, but I need 4 separate councillors to contact me and say they're happy for it to be revisited, and then we can overturn it at the next in the next one. So I'd really appreciate if we could do that, because it's just something that's been a bit of an unexpected problem.
Thank you. We live and learn in these processes.
Yes, we do.
And that request would have to be in writing to conform to our standard orders and meetings protocols. So if you are minded, that can be brought back within the 6-month rule if 4 councillors in writing with more than 5 days or 5 days or more working days before the next council meeting.
Can I ask for clarification? So what is it that you're looking for? Because it seems an odd decision that we weren't doing audits. Sounds awful, but we weren't doing audits. So what is it we need to do now? And I would assume it's an annual audit and we will regularly have audits.
Yes, so, sorry.
I was going to say, we received correspondence from the auditors or the people organising audits that said it wasn't necessary, we could opt out if we chose to. What we didn't recognise is that if we opt out to, what we're opting out of is them organising it, we still have to organise it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't worded very well in the explanation.
Totally misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but to revisit it within 6 months, we need to have that in writing, requesting that motion be reheard for this reason. Okay.
Email
Okay,
or
perhaps-
writing?
Email's fine.
Email.
I need a formal request.
It's a formal
Okay,
request.
Or
yeah.
can we put that
But-
out?
Michelle, I'm sure you'd be really happy to put an email out to councillors confirming
Yeah.
what it is that we're requesting, and then if you're minded to, you can respond with your support to do that. Okay.
Thank you.
So yes, this is the other audit and the completion for acceptance and approval. Anybody has any questions on this? No? Anybody like to propose acceptance then? Councillor Ellis, and anyone second that? Councillor Wenham, and the show of hands for approval. Thank you, I believe that's unanimous. Thank you very much. And G is the precept instalment for information, which was covered in the income as well. Any questions on that? Nothing. Okay, item 8, and this is to do with the decoy common footpath quotations. There are a number of quotations, there are a number of options given. There's 2 types of media used, and if I'm using the wrong terminology, council officially will probably be right. But there is basically tarmac chippings, and there's the grey day that could be used, and then there's there's another option on top of that, which is where would we have the path? We're having redone decoy common, edged with wood, or just left. Can I ask a question of Councillor Westby? As your technical expertise hat on, edging, would you recommend it?
Aesthetically, yes.
Yeah.
But no other reason really. But you know, the prices that come back are much cheaper than I thought at least. So
Yeah.
I have a question on that, if I may. 2 of the quotes are quite similar. The third one is vastly different. And for that, I just have a slight alarm bell. What I wanted to check with you is whether you thought perhaps one supplier had interpreted the scope differently from the other 2, because they were cheaper than you sort of expected them to be, weren't they? It's quite a vast difference.
It may be down to someone saw an opportunity of the council and the others were trying to play a straight bat. That happens at times as well. It shouldn't do, but it does. I know, as you know, I've had dealings with all 3 contractors, and I have no complaints on any one of the contractors, and no particular preference either. I've had dealings with all of them, and they've all worked very well for what the application was.
I think the fact that we've got 2 that are very similar,
Yeah.
gives me confidence that the third one is the one that's the higher one is the one that's not necessarily accurate.
Reading through the description, it does sound as if they're all quoting the same thing.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I
why.
just wanted to check.
I mean, for instance, number 1 it said all surface expectation material